Good morning, winner. Take a deep breath.
I had high hopes for Booksmart. There's certainly been a lot of hype about this film, particularly since the South by Southwest Festival. Booksmart tends to lapse into pantomime quite a bit, where most of the characters are very over the top, very camp, and generally very unlikable.
I need to go over the end of the year budget numbers.
Can't we just graduate, head off to college? That should do it, right?
We will persist!
I can't hear you. I can't soundproof glass.
Apart from Caitlin Dever's character, Amy, who plays it particularly well. However, we find her very much like a deer in headlights emerging from the hind legs of a pantomime horse that this film is. She's pretty much the only really believable true character in it who's going through a coming-of-age drama. This film, in reality, feels less like a coming-of-age drama and more a aging drama, where we're become increasingly jaundiced and worn out by the tired, over-the-top, very much unsubtle delivery of the characters and the plot. By contrast, this summer we can be very proud of a beautiful coming-of-age drama which will be released in Ireland this summer, called Metal Heart, which portrays the coming-of-age story in a very subtle and believable and very moving way. This film certainly doesn't.
Fuck those losers. Fuck them in their stupid fucking faces.
Booksmart is about two close friends who go through their school years studying rather than partying.
Nobody knows that we are fun. We didn't party because we wanted to focus on school and get into good colleges.
They realise that their only transgressions during school were to get a fake ID, and that, as they say, was to get into the 24-hour library. So, a number of red flags raised themselves for me from the start in this. Will Farrell, who I don't find funny, is one of the executive producers. And also, the curse of the Friends effect, Lisa Kudrow. Even though she's quite a fine actor in her own right, it just seems inevitable that an ex-Friends actor in a film tends to be the kiss of death for me anyway.
I don't need to know all the words.
And so it was for this film. An essential aspect of a coming-of-age drama is that we should be rooting for the main protagonists, or at least some of them. And in this case, they're not particularly likeable. None of the characters are particularly likeable, apart from Amy.
Visualize the mountain of your success and look down at everyone who's ever doubted you.
While the tagline of the film talks of straight A's, I'm afraid for me it's a no grade for Booksmart, for lacking the essential aspects of a coming-of-age drama, which is an essence of being able to identify with some of the characters and what they're going through. Because let's face it, one of the reasons we like coming-of-age dramas is because we've all been through that. But I sense there will be very few people who will identify with the journey that these two characters go on. One of the aspects that this film was marketed on is that it's a different approach to the coming-of-age drama, and I think that's one of the problems actually with the film, in that it's trying way too hard to be different.
What the fuck is this?
Too eager to be different, to be over the top, to be exaggerated. The heartbreak that Amy experiences at one stage of the film is possibly the only real and touching moment of the film, which saves it to a degree. Normally at these press screenings, I emerge from the cinema blinking at multiple scraps of paper, upon which I've scrawled various notes for myself, illegibly in the dark. A beautiful scene I don't want to forget in my review, a poignant moment, perhaps well handled, or a magical moment of fun. On emerging from Booksmart into the basement of the Lighthouse Cinema, however, I found my pockets conspicuously empty. On paper, Booksmart is everything I normally would love in a film. It's a coming-of-age drama, and I think we all have a secret or even overt love of these stories, as we can all identify with going through that process ourselves. Also, it's offering a fresh approach to the genre. Two overly studious girls, one of whom is coming out as a lesbian. And ironically, therein may lie the problem. The film seems to try too hard to be funny, too hard to be different, to be cool, to be outrageous and rebellious, perhaps without achieving any of the above. I went to Booksmart with high hopes. The hype around the film after South by Southwest led me to believe it could actually be my favourite film of the year so far. Instead, I'm left perplexed, wondering how there could be such unanimous acclaim for a film that failed to deliver in almost every category. I do love coming-of-age films, but this felt like an aging film, as the weariness of the exaggerated, over-the-top effort at being different and being funny became quite tiresome quite early. For those who enjoy the coming-of-age genre, you'd be well advised to keep it Irish and wait for the wonderful Metal Heart, which arrives in cinema next month, starring Jordan Jones and Leah McNamara. One of the crucial elements of the genre is that we should find ourselves cheering for the characters and identify in some way with them. The sole character which offers any potential here is Amy, who is struggling with her sexuality. The heartbreak she feels midway through the film offers some of the very few rare moments of real feeling and poignancy here. Caitlin Dever is the sole actor who delivers on any degree of humanity and subtlety throughout the film. Ironically, this makes her feel out of place in this pantomime, at moments appearing like a deer in headlights after emerging from the back end of the pantomime horse that this film lapses into at times. Her friend Molly is a caricature, like many of the others. The hapless principal who is for some reason moonlighting as a taxi driver. Their classmate Gigi, who appears at every party even more bombastic and outrageously camp each time. She's outcamped only by her boyfriend, Jared, a much inexplicable character who annoys and wears down Amy and Molly whenever he appears, and the audience for that matter. Their other classmates stage outrageously camp theatre and inexplicably appear to be tearing the school apart and partying outrageously in the corridors before first class each morning. They are mad!
I'm incredible at hand jobs, but I also got a 1560 on the SATs.
Most of the actors seem to be delivering their lines as if strutting the stage on a school production, intent on big, loud delivery. Apart from Caitlin Dever, who is the sole refuge here for subtlety and reflection. While we hope she can find the girl of her dreams, we find ourselves mostly hoping she can rescue this film from lapsing into a bizarre street carnival. In the latter quest, she doesn't. In the former, you can find out when you don't go to see this film.
What the fuck is this?
Booksmart might be entertaining for those who don't mind an exaggerated, over-the-top delivery of the coming-of-age story, but those who are looking for subtlety in delivery and in the portrayal of these characters should probably stay away.
We have to go to a party tonight.
What?